Keep the motherfucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Can I move my...
And have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that.
Kasim Shabazz is shaken up.
Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives.
Let him know with this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops send a message. I don't care what any.
Crawford's victory celebration in Omaha took a bad turn only hours after the city held parade and a big party to honor his win over Canelo Alvarez. He got pulled over by police in the early morning, and officials said Crawford was driving a blue four-door car too fast. When officers stopped him at 1:27 a.m., while the situation got more serious, when police said they saw a gun on the floor of the car and ordered everyone to get out at gunpoint. And he said, "I'm getting out my seatbelt."
Open up, seatbelt. Opening the door. Open the door.
Right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tim Bradley shared his thoughts on what happened during Terence Crawford's traffic stop, and his view was sharp and made people think. Because according to Bradley, the police actions that night were not really about a simple traffic issue, but about sending a clear message to the champion, since he said Crawford had become so famous that some authorities felt they needed to remind him that even the biggest stars still have to follow the rules, while Bradley compared it to a sad pattern where happy moments turn uncomfortable for no good reason, as if a great day cannot end without some kind of disturbance. And his words connected with fans who saw the irony in Crawford's celebration being ruined by police lights and a tense stop.
Tense encounters with police.
I mean, Terence Crawford, he on the highest cloud, bruh. Let him know with this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops send a message. I don't care what anybody say. The cops send a message. This our city. You might got the key, but I got the handcuffs. That's what that was. Yeah. Boy, y'all start talking about my ceiling real quick. My roof, hey, it been raining and stuff. Hey, it's rain night. The clouds is out right now. You can see them in the background. I'm gonna go watch this damn car in a little bit once this rain stops. But anyways, back to the video. Oh, man, look. You ain't got no city until you got the police. That's a fact. Yeah. Shoot. You ain't got no city unless you got the police. Don't ever forget that. You gotta have the law enforcement on your side, man. They gotta be looking out for you. For the good. Not for the bad, for the good. Yeah. Terence Crawford, it don't matter what you do for your city, man. Bruh, I'm letting you know right now, man. With this incident right here, they waiting on you to do something bad. This dude right here, he was trying to jack you. He was trying to catch you slipping. That's all it was. Seeing you on TV, displayed all on TV, parade shut down and stuff. He gotta be, securing certain points and stuff like that. He mad. He mad to see you.
Crawford's head of security shared a chilling story about what really happened during the stop, and he said from their point of view, the officers seemed nervous and made the situation worse in a way that caused real fear, while being told to get out of a car with guns pointed at them on what should have been a happy winning weekend made those with Crawford feel like their lives were suddenly at risk. And the security chief described how the mood changed very fast, from relaxed to dangerous leaving. Behind a moment he called one of the scariest of his entire professional life, because for him what took place that night was much more than a normal traffic stop and became an experience no one would ever forget. And he was a chief sitting in the passenger seat, the same man who rode on the float with Bud during Saturday's parade.
The same man who rode on the float with Bud during Saturday's parade.
Be a man who can get to receive his second key to the city and have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that.
Kasim Shabazz is shaken up.
Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives.
Being the head of Terence Crawford's security, Shabazz has seen a lot, but nothing like this.
Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Early Sunday morning, Crawford and his team were leaving an after-party following his parade. According to police, they pulled their vehicle over near 12th and Cass Streets for reckless driving. That's where things took a dark turn.
And as soon as he said he had a firearm, the police officer that was on his side became unhinged.
Police immediately drew their weapons, pointing a gun at Shabazz and the pound-for-pound champ.
I literally had my hands on top of the ceiling and inside of the vehicle.
According to police, an officer had identified
According to the police, an officer saw a gun on the floor of the car, and reports say officers first stopped Terence Crawford's car because they thought he was driving dangerously, while during the stop, they said they saw 2 firearms on the floor, which raised attention and led to everyone being ordered out at gunpoint. But later checks showed that the guns were legally owned and properly registered, and since no other violation was found, the police gave Crawford only a ticket for reckless driving and let him go soon after. And even though the matter was officially closed, many people saw the incident as a sign, because critics said that on the same day, Crawford was honored as a champion. The city authorities wanted to show who was in charge, and to some, this was not really about road safety, but about keeping the power balance in Omaha.
News Watch 7's Pete Cuddy, he spoke with Mayor John Ewing, who requested that the Omaha Police Department conduct an internal investigation. And Pete, what did the mayor have to say?
Yeah, Julie, Mayor Ewing says that after such a great day yesterday, he was heartbroken hearing about the news of the traffic stop. That's why he reached out to Police Chief Todd Schmaderer and Terence Crawford himself to find out what exactly happened at that traffic stop. Omaha police released a statement saying that a car driven by Terence Crawford was stopped for driving recklessly around 1:30 in the morning on Cass Street. An officer confirmed that while Crawford was reaching to grab his information, the cop spotted a gun by Crawford's.
Ward, who is a well-respected voice in boxing, added another layer to the discussion by pointing out how people have long tried to lessen Crawford's achievements. And Ward said that before the Canelo fight, critics often dismissed Crawford's wins by claiming he only won by decision, not by total control. While according to Ward, that story was a clear attempt to weaken what Crawford had done and make his skills seem less important, because for Ward, what happened during the Omaha traffic stop fits into a bigger pattern of a champion always having to fight back against forces that want to reduce his success. And he stressed that such efforts to push Crawford down would never erase his proven career and the respect he has earned inside the ring. And they tried to bury Terence Crawford
and say that he wasn't a draw when the numbers were there for you to see. When he went to MSG against guys that didn't have big names or that were faded, like Amir Khan, and when he fought Kaviaskis, he did numbers. It was a smear campaign about his personality. He doesn't talk. Nobody wants to hear him. No, that you don't want to hear him. So you try to speak for the masses when the whole time you have a star right here. You got to learn how to talk to this man. Even as recent as his last fight, the fight before Canelo, the smear campaign continued. I don't hear the smear campaign now. Them voices got really, really quiet like they typically do when they get proven wrong, and they either try to jump on the wagon, I knew this kid was gonna be that, or they get very, very quiet and they start to retreat back to wherever they came from, and they don't have a lot to say. So I'm happy for this brother for that reason, because they tried to bury him, Roy. It didn't work. He overcame that. He said, give me my shot. I'm going to show you. And he kept doing it time and time again, and he did it again against Canelo.
Commentators have guessed that beyond the official story, deeper issues may have played a part in what happened, because some said the leaders in Omaha might have felt uncomfortable with how much influence and recognition Crawford had gained in the city, while his rise from a local talent to a world champion made him not just a sports hero, but also a symbol of community pride. And analysts suggested that the incident may have been a way to remind him and the public that the established powers were still in charge, and this way of looking at things tied the event to a bigger idea, because with great fame often comes trouble, and people in the spotlight are more likely to face situations meant to test them or hold them back. And a police officer wanted to make a statement, because he does not like the rise of the Black Messiah.
He doesn't like the rise of the Black Messiah. He don't like to see a black person in position of power. So he pulled Terence Crawford over for quote-unquote reckless driving. And as he approached the car, he decided to lie on his report, because as he approached the car, he stated that he saw a firearm on the floor panel. Come to find out, Terence Crawford informed him as he approached the driver's side door where Terence Crawford was driving, and in the passenger side was Terence Crawford's head security guard. In the back was Coach Malachi, and a young lady was on the side of Coach Malachi in the back seat. And Terence Crawford has legal firearms, and of course his security has legal firearms. They informed the officer that they have legal firearms in the vehicle. He then brandished his firearm, pointed at Terence Crawford's face, and then got very aggressive as Terence Crawford got, and his security and everybody in the vehicle, Coach Malachi, got nervous because he started to show the actions and body language of somebody that wanted to do something completely left. And now, in the police report that has been obtained by the community and released and leaked, he never puts about the reckless driving.
Amir Khan, the former world champion, shared supportive words for Terence Crawford, saying that no matter what problems come up, Crawford's achievements are still impossible to ignore. And Khan praised Crawford's skill and drive, remembering that he always believed Terence would show he is among the best in the sport. While for Khan, the recent events in Omaha cannot damage the truth that Crawford is a current champion whose place in history is already safe. And he argued that any attempts to pressure Crawford or make his win seem less important will not change the fact of his greatness. And for fans and supporters, Khan's view was uplifting and reminded everyone that real talent always outlasts criticism. And I knew that Crawford was going to win.
When I watched Crawford train back in Omaha, Nebraska, and when I was in Colorado Springs, he came into my camp. He helped me out a little bit, but at the same time, I seen him sparring some heavyweight guys. I seen him wrestling some heavy, big guys, and I thought, wow. So I asked him, I go, look, do you have like a wrestling background? He goes, yeah, we're like state champion. So that showed to me that this guy is a solid, strong person. Like, no one can push him around. No one can dictate. No one's going to put pressure on him where he's going to feel hurt, because he knows how to control the ring. When it comes to box IQ, like, his IQ in boxing is probably the best. I mean, he knows what punch to throw. He knows how to maneuver these heavier, big hitters and also take away their power and put his own shots in. So, yeah, he's up there, one of the best ever, really.
As an ex-fighter champion, I'm just curious. We heard yesterday Dana White says he's not going to acknowledge the WBC, IBF, WBO. He's going to have his own belt and the ring belt. And they want to potentially make changes to the Ali Act as well. This is a big thing here in America. How do you feel about is it time to make these changes and evolve, or are you more old school and think they shouldn't happen?
Ariel, I think it's the time boxing needed to change.
The difference between what the police said and what the people there described created a clear split in how people saw the events of that night, because the Omaha Police Department called it just a normal stop for reckless driving. But Crawford's head of security told a very different story, since he said the situation was frightening and that the officers' actions were too extreme and needlessly threatening. And these conflicting accounts brought up questions about honesty, accuracy, and responsibility, while for the public, it became hard to make sense of the sharp gap between the official version and the real-life experiences of those who felt they had been put in unnecessary danger.
Police report, but now we got information from Terence Crawford, his own team, and they're saying something completely different. If you listen, his head of security, Shabazz, said he was shaken up. He was like, I thought we were going to get popped by the cops that night. And crazy enough, he teaches classes on how to de-escalate and deal with police officers. So, at least that's what they're saying his credentials are. So he knows how to de-escalate situations and still had a problem with Omaha PD. And the other thing that is different, he's saying that they didn't even know that he had a gun on him or there was no gun on the floorboard, which changes things. So I can't wait till we get down to the nitty gritty and the body cams and this and that, because now this shakes things up. This is no longer the story we were being fed from TMZ. This is something different. The TMZ article said the cops pulled him over for reckless driving, fair if he was doing it, and seen a gun. And in my video, I said, if those things are true, then yeah, the cop can take you out the car for everybody's safety, including.
City leaders quickly understood how serious the public reaction was and moved to respond, because both the mayor of Omaha and the city's police chief released statements promising a full review of what happened. And they said an internal affairs investigation will be carried out to be open and honest, and to keep the community's trust, while their statements try to reassure people that the matter would be handled correctly. Doubt remained among those who felt the official story downplayed how serious the encounter really was, and the announcement of an investigation was an important step. But for many people, the final judgment would depend on whether actions actually match words, and observers and analysts drew bigger lessons from the incident, seeing it as an example of the tensions that often appear when one person gains great influence in a space, usually controlled by institutions.
Put out this statement. The mayor put out a statement as well, really no meat to it, except like he's going to do an internal investigation. Everything else felt a little political. Okay, Omaha Mayor John Ewing and Police Chief Todd Schmaderer are aware of a video circulating on social media regarding the traffic stop involving Terence Crawford early Sunday morning. Chief has authorized an internal affairs investigation. Shortly before 1:30 a.m., officers working in the downtown area observed a vehicle driving recklessly near North 12th and Capitol Avenue. A traffic stop was conducted at Cass Street. So he's pulled over because they said he's driving recklessly. All right. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. I'm going to read that sentence to you again. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. That is important. For safety, all 4 occupants were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The driver was later identified as Mr. Crawford upon verification of his driver's license and was issued a citation for reckless driving. One passenger, a member of Mr. Crawford's security team, was also found to be carrying a legal firearm. Okay, so that's 2 guns in the car, legally. Police have confirmed that all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. The police supervisor and lieutenant responded to the scene at Mr. Crawford's request. So he requested a supervisor and lieutenant to show.
They argued that people who already hold power can sometimes feel threatened by the rise of others, especially when that rise comes with strong public support. And the Omaha traffic stop, in their view, may have been less about driving and more about a clash between personal success and established systems of control. While this idea reflects an old truth, because those who gain influence often have to deal with pushback from those already in charge, and a portion of public discussion brought up concerns about bias, suggesting that the stop may have been shaped not just by police rules, but by deeper social problems. And although many avoided harsh words, they said that Crawford's experience showed a wider pattern where people are treated differently because of who they are, not just what they did. And this view stirred strong feelings among the supporters who thought the incident was unfair and pointless, while no matter what side you take, what is clear is that Crawford's experience started a conversation not just about how he was treated, but about how communities see justice, fairness, and equality in everyday run-ins with authority.
But for me to say that it will not be lost on a lot of people that Terence Crawford, being obviously a black man, being pulled over by cops in such fashion and treated in such a seemingly harsh way, will not go down well with a lot of people, especially in the black community, where, let's be honest, there has been tensions over the years between the police and the black community throughout many American towns and cities. So let's be honest, this incident will do nothing to improve relations between those two groups, that's for sure. Because make no mistake, this is an incident that could have gone very left, very, very left, and someone could have got hurt, maybe even fatally hurt. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because we've seen in the past where incidents of this nature have ended up very badly. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are very upset by this incident. As I said, I've not heard anything from Terence Crawford or anyone related to Terence Crawford, anyone to do with his inner circle. I would imagine he'll be releasing a statement soon. There are some people online who are suggesting that Terence Crawford may have grounds to sue. There are others saying that he might not want to sue because Terence Crawford is a much loved member of the Omaha, Nebraska community.
It will be interesting to see how the situation gets settled. And that is all for today's video. So stay with us until next time.